free, leave your kids at home. Leave your kids at home. Do your 2 step, get your groove on. This is feel good music, you can move on. Relax, stress free, leave your kids at home. Leave your kids at home.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? It's your man, Russ Mitchell, the homesick Buckeye, is in the building, on the cam with the fam. And I have got my girl. She is my favorite person to grill, chill, or kill with. It's Laura Russell, everybody. What's going on, Laura?
Yes. I am just chilling out.
Oh, man. It's always good to see you. We always have a great time. Come on in, everybody. We'll let folks get in the room. See who's here tonight to act a fool with us. Brenda Foley is here. Yeah. Look at that. What a treat. We don't get to see her very often. She's, I think, got her fuzzy pajamas on, too. She sleeps about the same hours as our man Bruce. But it's good to see you, Brenda. And will you be at Keto-Palooza this year, Brenda? I certainly hope so. We will both be there. And I have, I'm breaking news. Nurse Kim has bought her Keto-Palooza ticket too. I will have everybody know. So there'll be at least 3 people there.
That's right.
So, yeah. We have Killer of the Ducks. All right, there you go. Scrub a dub in the tub.
Unless you're a visual person, and now that's all I can see is Rick in a bathtub with rubber ducks.
Hey, rubber ducky, you're the one.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Bruce is here. He's getting on his fuzzy pajamas. He's got the warm broth. He's got some broth, some beef broth warming up on the stove. So yes, that's all right. You know, the man's gotta clean himself up after a day of chasing ducks and iguanas. Cheryl, good to see you. Good to see you. Karen is here. Good to see you, Karen. Doc V is in the building. Always good to see you, brother. Glad you're here. And man, how was your week been?
It has been busy. I tell you, being in the medical field, even as bad as it is, boy, you sure are busy. I mean, there is no shortage of sick people out there. And it's odd. In the area I live in, we're a big farming state, of course, and this side of the state, that's pretty much all. We have such a wide variety of, I have patients that are 100, and I have patients that are in their 30s. And I had that discussion with my boss today. I said, isn't it ironic that the ones that are like 98, 99, 100 are doing better than our 35 and 40-year-old patients? I said, there's something wrong with that. And she was like, what do you think it is? And I said, well, I think those people that are closer to 100 grew up starting with whatever food was available, and it was garden food, and most of them, and food that was hunted and stuff like that. And I said, this next generation, these 30, 40-year-olds, they started like I did. It was Pop-Tarts and cereal and junk and
Hot Pockets,
formula. Yep, Hot Pockets and pizza rolls. And
they were on the old timers were on the original heart attack diet. So they were everything was lard, and they played outside with no helmets, and they ate dirt, and they skinned their knees
from the
up.
Water hose.
Yes, right. Fell out of trees. Yeah, did all the stuff that she needed to do to stay alive. And the new generation is doing exactly none of that stuff. I mean, it's crazy, man. We, riding without seat belts and riding bikes with no helmets. Yeah,
right in the back of the truck.
Yeah, my dad is like, a helmet? Buy no helmet for nobody with a bicycle. You can't buy wasted money. I paid more for the helmet than the bicycle. It's like
it's don't fall.
Yeah, they pay for the helmet. You hit your head, you learn something. That's
That's right. You won't do it again.
yeah, man. So it is definitely a different day and time. I know you're
Yeah.
not a football person, but as football season is here, I enjoyed the football games. I don't know if anybody's teams, people down here are going crazy because Florida State got thumped twice and they're 0-2. And the whole state of Florida is pretty much in mourning because the Gators are terrible too. And people around here are just crying in their beer everywhere. So, I don't know what to say about that other than sorry, I'm not a fan of any of the Florida teams. So I'm a Buckeye.
Yeah.
I can just, watch it. And my Buckeyes weren't that good. Shout out to semi-retired Bob if he's somewhere out there lurking in the bushes somewhere. He usually will come in and talk football with me. But yeah, my Buckeyes did win, but they
Good.
did look good doing it. They looked terrible doing it. It was an ugly win, but we'll take it. It's only the first game. Hopefully they'll get better, but they want to win a
Wins
national
a win.
championship. They got some work to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just riding
That's
bikes with
true.
animals, we made ramps and jumped our friends.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, I got in some trouble for jumping some people one time. Well, but that's we jumped our enemies where I came from. He
Yeah,
jumped
not the friends. Yeah.
Oh, but
I've
yeah,
been
I had
to
a good.
a couple I've been to a couple football games, even
Oh,
though I used to absolutely love football. So let me just preface
yeah.
that.
You
Even
say
though
used
I
to.
mine yes, I
You had a
love
traumatic
the
accident.
yeah, Colin Kaepernick
Oh,
um was the tragic accident that happened.
yeah. But he doesn't play
So
anymore,
I
so
was
you can.
I know. But I just I have a there's just something about me and the flag and stuff like that. So that kind of
Yes,
turned me off
very
from that.
patriotic.
I know.
Yes.
And so that is really just in my blood. So when I see that, I'm like, it's the same with like Levi's and Carhartts and
Yeah.
different companies that have made those kind of statements. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Just remember it's the rednecks that buy the majority of your
Yeah.
clothes, Carhartt. And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
who you need to piss off.
Well, that's
So
it's funny you mentioned. I agree with you wholeheartedly. What happens is some people are the loudest voices. So like these corporations, they hear some goofy people yelling and they don't realize they're loud, but they're a very vocal minority. So
yes.
you can't really, just because they're screaming the loudest and in your face,
Yeah.
they don't represent a lot of people. So,
I think John Deere's learning that lesson right now.
yeah.
In our area. And it's probably everywhere, but I just know that some of the people I take care of are like, look at the statement they put out. And I was like, look, that's one person. And they said, yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like the number two person at their, and I said, it won't. And they said the way to get through to those kind of corporations is to quit buying from them for a while
That's
and
right.
see what
Well,
happens.
Tractor Supply came out not long ago
Yes,
and
I saw
had
that.
had an epiphany. They had come out with some
Yes, they,
goofy thing and they
yep,
repealed it all and like, hey, we're going back to the
yep,
way we were before. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, Bruce said, what happened with John Deere?
They, released
They're painting
information like
they stopped painting their tractors green and painting them rainbow Skittle colors. No, I'm just kidding.
pretty pretty close to that, but, between the DEI and the, agenda that everybody with the multicolored hair and, like you
Yeah,
said, that screamed the loudest, they really started,
the vegans.
speaking about that. Well, and I don't know about
Yeah,
vegans,
a lot of them are.
but
Listen, a lot of them are in that. A lot of them are
they are,
vegetarian. On the
they are.
yeah, that's why
I
they're all
know.
messed up. That's why their brains ain't working properly.
I
The
think
bones
I
are
know,
brittle
I'm
and the
like,
brains are messed up.
if we gave them a little bit of cholesterol, maybe that would like feed their brains and they'd be like,
Yeah,
"Oh, yeah, that doesn't make sense
throw
to
some
have."
dip. Throw
Yeah,
bacon grease on them. That's
like
that's
a housing crisis in the United States. Oh, Wonder what led to that. Oh, 10 million people coming in illegally. I mean, that probably hurt it just a little.
Yeah,
I'm always like,
yeah,
come
John.
on,
Yeah,
come on.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. John Deere rain. Yes, John Deere Green. That's a song.
That's a song.
A
That
song
is a
that you might
song.
be
You should drink.
surprised that I know.
I was
And
gonna say I even know that one, but I'm not a singer. Russ is the singer.
in John Deere Green, on a
Mhm.
hot summer
Yeah.
night, she wrote Billy Bob Loves Eileen or something like that, or Billy Bob
Yep.
Loves Charlene, and that is 10 feet high. And the whole town said the boy should have used red, but it looked good to Eileen in John Deere Green. There you go.
Very
There you
good.
have,
Yay!
there you have a country song tonight. I said
That's
it's
right.
Charlene. I said Eileen. Eileen is come
That's okay.
on, Eileen. Yeah,
That's right.
wrong song. Listen, I do the best I
That's
can,
okay.
folks. I do the best I can to be versatile, all
I
genres.
think doing it off the cuff is pretty good.
Yeah, I've
Yes,
been
you
known
did.
to carry a tune. A lot of people are happy when I put it down. So
Mm,
yes, but today
people
was
don't
a
want me.
good day. What did you say, Laura?
I said people do not want me to even try to do a tune. You at least they'll be like, yeah, we'll take a little bit of that.
Yeah, a little bit, like a little dab will do you, just like recent formula. No,
Yeah.
I had a good day today. I made a video last week about the sales. I don't know if you saw any part of that, but I went into my
Yep.
rant about the conspiracy and Winn-Dixie out to get me. And this is the second time that they put limits on a cut of meat after I have gone in there and cleaned the store out. Now, the first time they did it, I was like, oh, but the second
Yeah.
time they did the same thing. It's a different cut of meat, a different thing, but it's the same thing. I went in, bought like 40 or 50 pounds of bone-in ribeyes, and there was no limit. And then 2 months later, they had the same sale on bone-in ribeyes, USDA choice. I mean, good cuts of meat, limit 3. And I'm like, see, this is the second time because you have to scan your membership card, like
Right.
your rewards card, to get the sales. So I'm like, are they picking on me? And I was teasing, I was kidding around because when I went in the first day of the sale, literally the first day of the sale, I went back to the meat department and they only had 3. And I'm like, do you have any more?
Mm.
He's like, oh, no, we'll have some more tomorrow, whatever. And I thought to myself, I wonder if they got like a picture of me back there in the butcher department, like as soon as
Yeah.
I hit the door, like in a casino, it's like they got the facial
Yeah.
recognition, like, oh, here comes the meat monster.
Yep.
It's like, yeah,
Yep.
and they're back there like, take all the meat, just leave 3 out there, just leave 3.
That's it. And then put a limit on it. That's all he gets. And so with Winn-Dixie, I don't know how they work because we don't have those here.
Yeah.
But if there's a 3 limit, is that each day? Is that during their whole
No,
sale?
it's per transaction. So I'll get like 12 and I'll ring
Oh,
them up in
heck
four separate things.
yeah.
And I tried to do it. I tried to just gangster old school, like in the old days when they had you could just wink at the clerk and she just act like she couldn't
Right.
count, whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's computerized now. So the first time they had
Exactly.
they had a limit. It was like limit 2 pounds, and I bought like 3 pounds, and it rang it up, and it was fine. And then I checked my receipt. Didn't say a word, but I checked my receipt, and they charged me full price for the third one. The first 2 were at a set
Oh,
because again, you have to scan that card, your rewards card, to get the price.
right.
So I scanned the card, she ran me through, and I checked my receipt, and they charged me full price for 1 pound. The other 2 pounds
Yeah.
were at the discount price. So I was like, okay, I don't know how to fix your wagon. So I got like 10 pounds and I divided them up into 5. There's like, these are 5 separate purchases. And she just kind of looked at
That's
me
right.
and ran them through 5 times, scanned, paid 5 times, walked right out, and then went to another store,
Yeah.
did the same thing. So today, and I found, and this is crazy. I got the double, the double blessing because Publix had the same sale as Winn-Dixie.
Hmm.
So I went to Publix and got a bunch, and then I went to Winn-Dixie and got a bunch. I figure I'd give Winn-Dixie a break. And
Mhm.
the last day of the sale was today for Winn-Dixie. Tomorrow is the last day of the sale for Publix. So I'm going to go tomorrow and get a few more. I got a little more space in my freezer. So, but
There
they're
you
good
go.
cuts, good, nice marbled cuts. And hey, $9.99 a pound for good
It's good.
bone-in ribeye, good USDA choice. Cannot beat it. Not around here. Normal price is like $16.99 a pound. I get way more joy than I'm almost ashamed at how much joy I get at
Mhm.
saving money on this. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm cheap. Okay. Matter of
me
fact,
too. Me too.
I'm a little tight to be cheap. I mean, I'm too tight to
Yeah,
be cheap, really.
yeah,
But I don't know that it's I feel ashamed that I just get giddy when I go
yeah.
into some place and I feel like I'm just saving, a bunch of money. I went in because I like to troll, and today, which I'll finish my story. I went into Winn-Dixie to get to see about the ribeyes, and they had a bunch of stuff marked down, and red tags, and so I got a bunch of bonus meat today. Um,
Right.
Stuff I got that was marked down to $5 and $6 a pound. Some they had some boneless ribs, boneless beef ribs, and other stuff was like
Nice.
$3.99 a pound. I got brisket
That's good.
2.99 a pound today. Yes, I mean
Wow.
it was all yes, it was all. It's like I get excited. I'm like it's like
Yeah.
Disneyland or something. It's like I just about a month, maybe spent about 3 or 4 weeks ago now, because I'll go in once a week and just troll, just look for anything with the big red markdown tag.
Yeah.
I went in there about 3 weeks ago, and the whole meat department was marked. I mean, it was red tags everywhere. I cannot
Wow.
describe to you the sheer joy. I was giddy. I felt like a kid. I felt like a kid had walked into Disneyland for
Like
the first time, and
Christmas.
I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, and I just
Well,
started
with
going through, man.
everything.
I got oxtails marked down to like $7 a
Wow.
pound. I got New York strips. I got all these. Oh man, it was ridiculous, and I just had to laugh at myself because I'm like, no grown man should get this kind of joy from from saving money on meat. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
like
But that is
I,
that is a heck of a deal. Now, is there a reason, with your ribeyes, do you get them bone in to,
I
because you
get
save your
whatever's
bones?
no, no.
Oh,
You'd
okay.
not be proud. You would not be proud of me. I get whatever's on sale. I only
Yeah.
buy what's on sale. So
Okay.
if it's bone in, bone out, I don't care. I
Okay.
don't. Not only do I not you go ahead and get ready to smack me. Not only do I not save a lot of the bones, but I trim a lot of the fat and throw that away too because I just can't. At least not now. I can't take a lot of it. It's just too
Freeze
much.
it.
And it
Put it in a
and do
baggie and freeze it.
and do what with it?
Melt
I
it
can't.
down.
I'm telling yeah, and do what with it? I ain't over there making soaps and lotions and candles like your country ass. I just
I
like
know, but oh my gosh, it's
I know
so
that's what I'm
good for
saying. Listen,
you.
I do eat plenty of it. I cut off,
Yeah.
like the picanha I get. I cut it.
Yeah.
I keep saying I'm
That
gonna
has a lot.
upload the picture of these picanhas. There is plenty of fat on them. They look like New York
Yeah.
strips, but it's only about a third of the fat that's actually there because I mean the fat is literally the fat cap is like this thick. It's like
I
if I
know.
cut it down to this thick, I'm still getting plenty,
Yeah. Mm.
but I
Same with
just
the
can't.
brisket.
Yeah, I just can't. I
Yeah.
can't eat it, and so Doc Vasquez was on last time. He said, "Well, don't cut it off until after you cook it." And let it get the flavor and all that. I'm like, it's delicious. I don't have any problem with the flavor in that. But
Yeah.
yeah, is
Man.
that first or second tenor? That is a 15th tenor, Doc. I way down. I'm not first, second. I'm not even in the top 10. I'm way
Mhm.
down there. So HEB limits 2, no membership card though, so you can go back 10 times. Yeah, you got to scan
Oh,
your
that's
card to
good.
get the thing. But the normal price on those is $16.99.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
That's a heck of a deal.
it's Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Costco is cheaper. Costco's everyday price is like $13 a pound.
Hmm.
You can get them just anytime for that. Um, but most everybody else is between $15 and $17 a pound for ribeyes and New York strips and that kind of stuff. So yeah, $9.99 is fantastic. And I'm like, I remember the first time I saw the sale, I'm like, can I get a U-Haul truck and get over there? How much can I get?
Refrigerated U-Haul truck would be
Yeah,
perfect.
exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah, I am also cheap, frugal, whatever you want to call it. And even though we bought a side of beef from our farmer and have that frozen, a lot of that I've already canned into, I've cold packed it into jars. So because I don't trust our
yeah.
electricity if anything goes down. I mean, we have a generator, but I'm sure the coffee pot's going to be plugged in before the freezer because my husband loves his coffee. So that
Yes.
it'll
Yes.
be like too bad. But the place that I get a lot of my ribeye fat and my meat, if other than from that farmer, they had a ribeye sale and it was $9.99. And they would cut it for you. It was the whole ribeye, but they would
Yeah.
cut it for you. And you could, like, I usually leave the majority of the fat, but even if I don't, if I have them take some of that off, they always package it. And they know, like, when I come in, and it's in a different state. They're in Iowa. It's not that far. It's
Mm.
only like 16 miles. But if I walk in, they're like running to the freezer because they know they've got packages of fat, of the ribeye fat
Yeah.
saved for me. But I went over and bought two full ribeyes and had them cut them and put them in my brother-in-law's freezer and our freezer. And my husband's like, "Are we out of steak?" I said, "No." And he goes, "Well, then why would you buy more steak?" I said, "'Cause it was on sale."
Yeah, that's right. Listen, everything tastes better when it's on sale. I don't care what it is. I
Yes.
mean, it's delicious when it's on sale. Before I even make it, I'm
Yes.
like, this is going to be the best I ever had. Look at the price. It's really a shame. I'm really embarrassed, but I can tell the family. I can share with the
I'm not
family. Speaking
embarrassed.
of family, Dustin Cade's in the building. You need to pop in here and say, hey, Dustin, by the way, in the chat, folks, we have the link. Anybody wants to pop into the show, be part of the show, say,
Yeah.
hey, you're welcome to do that, as always. Good to see you, brother. Glad you're doing well. I'll be with you in a few weeks. He will be at Keto Palooza, him and his lovely wife.
Yay.
And that is awesome.
I can't wait.
Awesome. Jenny's here. Hey, Jenny. Yeah, the whole fat thing. I just, I eat plenty of fat. I don't trim the fat off of my ribeyes. I mean, or anything
Right.
like that. I eat all that. But some of the cuts, there's just too much. Pecan is one. Like a lot of the
Yeah.
ribeye, briskets and stuff. I
Biscuit.
just trim down some oxtails. I should probably trim the fat off the oxtails, but I don't. And that's what I'm eating now. I got oxtails, but I started mixing oxtails with ground beef because again, it's just
Oh,
too fatty.
yeah.
And
You
I
needed more
just,
protein. I have
yeah,
not had oxtails yet. I did say something to those guys over at where I get the meat at, and I said, "Do you guys ever get oxtails?" And they were like, "Nobody ever asked for oxtails." And of course, I had
yeah,
on I had my carnivore shirt on. It said, "Vegetarians are cool. All I eat are vegetarians," and a picture of a
yeah,
cow and a lamb. And they're like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah." They forgot for a minute. They were like, "Oh
yeah.
yeah,
The
we
meat
remember
lady's
you."
here. That's right.
Yeah, the meat lady's here. Yeah, I saw where Dr. Vasquez was saying that that only works for steak. His wife buys stuff all the time just because it's on sale. My husband has to be happy. The only thing I buy, really, if I'm going to spend money on it, is either going to be meat, ammunitions, or pew pews. That's it.
Yeah, when I made my video, I was a little excited when I made my video. I was, still in the afterglow coming back from my haul and all that stuff. But I should have edited it or put something in there. But you know me, I'm not that. I don't care that much. But I said I don't have a single piece of meat in my freezer that I paid more than $9 a pound for, and actually it's
Yes.
$9.99 a pound for. Yeah. So
Yeah.
when I was watching the back, I'm like, oh, I meant to say $9.99, which is
Yeah.
$10.
It's
But
okay.
I've got ribeyes, I've got New York, and it's all choice. I only eat
Yeah.
choice meat now. I stopped eating
Yeah.
select meat just because it's just, I mean, I was very picky, and I know I would drive people crazy when I would go in there, because I would go in and I would like be in there with stuff spread out like a like a
Mhm.
workstation, and I'm like
Mhm.
inspecting everything, and I would get like the most marble cuts I could get out of the select bin, because
Sure.
as I've learned about this, it's interesting. There are cuts of meat that are in between. You've got some select
Sure.
cuts
Yep.
that are on the could be choice. I mean, they're right close to choice, and there's choice cuts that are close to prime but not quite. There's like a spectrum. So it's like, if I'm going to get the select meat, I'm going to get the best. I mean, some of them are bricks. I mean, they're just bright red.
Sure.
They look like but then there's some that are much different. So I would go through, and I would sort through those things, and people are looking at me like, "Does this guy have some type of meat inspector?" I'm like, yes, I am. That's exactly
Yes.
what I am. I am a meat
Yes,
inspector.
I am. Yeah,
And I would just get the
for
best
sure.
ones. But I stopped doing it. I just like, I'm just going to wait for the sales, and I'm just going to get
Yeah,
the choice meat. It's a much better experience. I mean, if you've
it is.
ever had Prime, obviously, or Choice to Select,
Sure.
it is a pretty big jump, I have to say. I'm not trying
Yeah.
to be a snob or anything. Like, I only eat choice meat. I'm not that guy. Listen, I'm not above anything. I will eat a hot dog. I will eat a
Yep.
hamburger. I'll eat, whatever. But probably about maybe 6 months ago now, I just stopped looking in the select bin, and I just go to choice.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to be as discriminating in the choice bin, because everything there is going to be
Better.
better than the worst stuff I was eating. But
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, so that's kind of my new thing. But I still sort through that too. Like the other day, I was in Publix, and some people were kind of looking at me, and I have no
Mm,
shame in my game. I'm like, coming through.
me either.
you know Watch
Me
out.
either.
And I just spread it all out.
Yeah.
I look, and I'm like, whoop, whoop, take the best ones, and out we go. So yeah, I know I'm a weirdo. But I've been eating this in different cuts too. But I'm kind of, I had some skirt steak, some flank steak, some different
Yeah.
cuts of sirloin and that. And you know, like I said, they were marked down. Some of the stuff was $4 and $5 a
Right.
pound. I didn't get
Wow.
any round or anything like that. That's a
Yeah.
little
I don't
little too tough. I don't want
tough.
anything I gotta
Yeah.
slow cook or anything like
Right.
that. But
Well, and even with like the skirt steak and the sirloin stuff like that, I do think there's a little trick to those to where
yeah,
they're not quite so tough. Um,
I don't know any
what
tricks.
I found, the one of the things that works with those is doing that dry brine. So like
Dry
doing the
brine,
salt.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I dry
And
brine
and putting
all of
them
my
in.
meat. Yeah, even
Yeah.
my lamb. When I do the lamb, I dry brine that. I dry brine everything. That makes such a big difference in flavor and
Yeah.
tenderness. I do that with everything,
Yeah.
So yeah, but again, I'm not super picky, but I stick to my ribeyes, my New York strips. I like those a lot. Picanha has definitely become a favorite, and that's good enough. I got my oxtails, my ground beef. I got a nice little rotation. Working a little more chicken into the
Mm.
mix. I made some all the carnivores. You can hide your kids, hide your wife. I grilled some mushrooms and some bacon grease, and threw some Alfredo sauce in there with some chicken, and that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So and just mixing it up a little bit. You
Yeah.
like Alfredo? Do you eat Alfredo? I know there's some dairy and stuff in there. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You're
I never really did like Alfredo. I was more of like the marinara sauce. Like I
yeah,
liked
I
like
like
the
that too.
chicken and yep, I always did like the marinara sauce and I always made my own. Now my husband loves Alfredo, so he will do that and I've made it from scratch. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah,
the several different types of cheeses. I am not doing that again. I am not that nice of a
yeah,
wife. I did it once
yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, it's good," or you get, "Yeah, it's okay." And I'm like, "Oh no, that was 4 hours. I'm not." It was okay. I'm
That's
like,
right. You better drop to one knee and weep when you eat this if you want me to make
"Okay."
it again.
I'm like, "Guess what? You can use Ragu's flavor anytime you want to."
Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that to your
Yeah.
poor husband. Have you
Uh,
ever seen the label on any ragu product?
I have. I show
It's
him the
ridiculous
labels.
to
He
me.
does. He looks at it and he's like, "Well," and I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, and so far he's been
Man.
fortunate, but it's horrible. I
Oh,
was watching, I don't remember what doctor was doing a video, and he was talking about just the amount of like glyphosate that is
yeah.
in these foods. And I was telling him that, I had seen a study that was done on these children between the ages, it was either 10 to 12 or 10 to 15, and that they were drawing their blood, and it was because they were doing a study to see what's causing fatty liver disease to be in these young kids that they've never seen, previous to this. But they kept having this one thing just mark high all the time, and they were like, "What is high in everybody's blood?" And it was glyphosate. And he was like, "Really?"
Mm.
I said, "Absolutely." And I've had farmers who you would think would understand it go, "Well, but they're eating cereal." I said, "Which is made from," and they're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." And I said, "And you spray it?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "It absorbs." And then you send it to the plant and it gets milled down and then they make it into cereal. And he's like, "Oh." And I'm like,
Yeah.
uh, hello."
No, in my video I put out a question to the world, and I know you didn't watch the video because I know you would have answered the question because you know everything. Uh, but they had salmon on sale. It was farm raised, which I prefer the wild caught, but I'm not that
Yes.
I'm not that picky about it. I get it when I can, but it was a really good price. But I only bought a couple of them because they had on the wrapper or on the packaging. Um, what was the name of that? Astaxin added as a color additive. It was right, like it
What?
was right in the title. If
Yeah.
if you feel like it, you can go back watch it because
Yeah.
I zoomed the
Yeah.
camera in on it. It was right on the label. It said farm raised salmon, uh, ASTAX or ASTHAX. It's like astaxin or something like that, added as color additive.
Well,
And
see,
so,
they
and I,
they just released it was either FDA just released like the 9 most harmful food colors that we
mhm,
use and dyes in food. They're changing all their names to things like what you just said. Like these
mm.
cutesy little names instead of red, yellow, yellow 40 and red, whatever. They've changed all those names, so that's probably what that was.
Yeah, I don't know, but I would have gotten some more, but I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, well, Laura's going to tell me all
Mm,
about how bad this is. So I'm like, it's
yes.
something that's like, yes, it'll make your nostril hairs fall out. Don't,
Yes.
you'll have no
Don't do
hair,
it.
nose hair if you eat, and your ear hair too just falls out. Don't eat that, Russ. I
That's right.
I can hear you in the background. So I'm like, I'm
I
like, yeah, somebody in the chat tell me what this is and how harmful it is, or if you know
yeah.
anything about it, because I've never heard of it. And these salmon, it was like $7.99 a pound, which is a great price. And I like to mix in. I get my I make salmon salad just about every week, but I make it from canned salmon, wild
Yeah.
caught. I get wild caught canned salmon that I get from Costco, and I just throw a little
Yeah.
mayonnaise and mustard in there and just make a little salad. Um, but the fresh is like $8 a pound. You can barely get frozen for that. Nene is
Mhm.
here. Actually, this is the one.
Mhm.
Good to see you, Renee. Jenny says,
Mhm.
today I got T-bones at $7.99 a pound and then oxtail on a reg tag sale. Yes, I love that.
Dang.
See, I'm not the
I
only one
wanted to
that gets giddy
yes.
when you get.
I wanna try that oxtail. I've got to hopefully my
Listen,
guys said they're gonna try to get some.
when we get to Louisville, we'll look that up. Maybe the only problem
Mm.
is because you can get it from any like I don't know, I don't know in your neck of the woods they probably don't have Caribbean restaurants. But
No.
yeah, yeah, I know. I know they
Redneck
have
restaurants.
yeah, they have Tractor Supply and
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel by the
Farm and
freeway.
Home.
Yeah,
Yep.
but you're going to the big city of Louisville, okay? And I
That's right.
guarantee
That's
you,
right.
they've got. I promise you, they've got some Caribbean restaurants there. The only problem is at the Caribbean places, um, they usually will make them in the gravy. So
Oh, yeah.
I know that's the only and
Yeah.
they serve them over rice or potatoes, which that's easy enough to not get that. But the gravy is going to be. I don't know if you can get them just without the
Right.
gravy.
Without it.
I've never tried, so
Yeah.
I've never asked. Maybe you can, but it's like
Yeah.
if that's the case, like I said, we'll we can ask them, but if we're there, I will take you somewhere and we will get
Yeah.
your first oxtail. We'll have them put in a side of
Yes.
curry, get a side of curry goat in there with it.
Yeah. I
You live
actually
on the
went out
wild
to
side.
eat. That's right. I went out to eat with my mom last week. We went to Coralville up by Iowa City, where the Hawkeyes are from. And we went to a restaurant, steak restaurant. I mean, it's a steakhouse.
Yeah,
And I said, I don't want any of the sides. And of course, they looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, give them to somebody else. Like if there's somebody
yeah,
here, you have homeless at the end of the day that show up because I used to work at a restaurant and they would do that at the end of the day and we'd give them, stuff. And I'm like, I don't want any of that. And I said, and just if you can do it on the grill plain, steak does not have to have butter or oil or anything on a grill to cook it. I said, that's the only thing I am highly allergic to those things. And, they're like, "Sure, sure." So that it comes, and the first 2 bites, I was like
yeah,
so I called the waitress over and I said, "This definitely had the grill oil, that they sell to restaurants." I said, "This was fried in that." And she goes, "Oh, yeah, I saw him do it." And I said, "What does my ticket say?" Like, I
right.
asked nicely. "I'm on the way to the asthma allergy doctor. I'd like to not be in a full-blown flare." And before we left, the whole roof of my mouth, the skin
Mm.
was peeling off of it. That's what
Oof,
my Yep. Yeah, it was
oof,
horrible. And I get to the doctor's office and she was like, "Oh, you're having a reaction," and had to give me an epi shot actually. And I was like,
mm,
so I told the lady at the restaurant, I said, "Here, just take your steak back." And then, I said I wasn't trying to be an ass about it. Um, but I said, I'm a very good tipper, even though I'm cheap. I'm a good tipper
yeah,
for the waitress, and I
yeah,
always
me too.
also tip the chef because
Mm,
they're the ones cooking it. And so I
yeah,
always do that. And I said, not happening today because you took the
yeah,
thing, you watched him do it, and you still brought it to me, even though I said that I had an allergy to that. And she says, "Well, a lot of people say that." I said, "It doesn't matter.
yeah.
You
You
know,
can't. Yeah,
it doesn't matter. You really should have done that." And I said, because, I said, "Look at my shirt. I'm a freaking carnivore. Like every time we
yeah,
come here, if you would have done this, we would have eaten here. We would have, been repeat
yeah.
business. And instead, now I'm going to go out and make sure that everybody that does go there knows how you did." Because I said that isn't right. So, and I felt kind of bad. My mom's like, "Calm down, carnivore." But I just was like, here I'm having, this stupid
Yeah.
reaction, had to have my blood drawn and stuff like that
Mhm.
because of how bad my reaction was. And I thought, man, that's why I don't go out, is because I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
I don't trust
Hard to
them. And I
control
can
what
cook
people
a
do.
good steak. Yeah. And I
Yeah,
thought,
I know what you mean.
okay.
I'm very fortunate I don't have any those type of allergies or any adverse reactions to things. I'm very lucky that way. Very lucky
Yeah.
that way. Dustin says coffee is life. I have started back on the coffee a little bit. I was off of it for a while. I have 1 or 2 cups a week now. Well, I shouldn't say cups. I have 1 or 2 Yetis a week.
Mhm.
This is
Yeah.
about 2 cups worth, I guess. And but yeah, I'm drinking more green tea now.
Oh, yeah.
I saw a video by Dr. Jason Fung espousing the wonders of green tea. And listen,
Mhm.
it's funny, it cracks me up actually. Every time I see somebody like talking about how great something is, I think of you. I'm like, I gotta ask Laura if this is really good. If this is really good because I'm like, I don't
I
believe
get
anybody but you.
I get lots of text messages all day long from everywhere. I had one
You're
today
the
from
best.
Canada, and they were like, "Hey, I ordered this from this place. Do you think it's safe?" And I'm like, "Send me a picture of the ingredient list." And I'm like, "Yep, that one was good." The time before she had sent me one and I'm like, "Nope, these 2 things, this is what that means on there." I think
Yeah,
one of them was like bioengineered and she's like, "What does that mean?" And I said, "Well, that's either genetically modified or lab created." And she was
yes.
like, "Oh
Well,
my gosh."
you know everything. Listen, you know I adore you, but and every time I get something, I'm like, I don't know what that is. I'm like, Laura probably, I'm gonna eat it. And Laura probably tell me it's gonna kill me.
Mm,
You
yeah. Don't do it again.
yeah. It's just my generator will
Oh,
hold on to
wow.
the fridge, the freezer, the coffee pot, and a stainless AC, no problem. Yes. You know, it's funny.
Nice.
I have a generator, like a 12,000 watt. I've never used it. And here lately, I've been looking at all these battery and solar generators, and
Mhm,
I don't really. I've got two refrigerators and a couple of things, but I wonder. I was looking at maybe one of those. What I was thinking about actually is getting maybe like a solar powered generator because obviously I live in a hurricane place, and then maybe
yeah,
getting a smaller generator that I can use to charge up like if it's nighttime. You know, I don't
mhm,
need a huge 12,000 watt generator anymore. I could get
right,
maybe a 3 or 4,000 just to charge up my solar generators at
mhm,
night. And so I wonder how that would work. I don't know, but I've never used it. And I live in the middle of the city. I've been here almost 20 years. The longest we've ever been without power, and I've been through several hurricanes. It's three
mhm,
days. That's the
yeah,
longest. That was the worst one. My
yeah.
next door neighbor works for a utility authority.
Oh,
So
nice.
yes, exactly. He's got the big truck out there. That's what I said when I saw the big truck. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome to live in a
Right next door.
hurricane state and have literally a guy, a power guy with a big
Next door.
bucket truck, yeah, right next door. So we're
Yeah,
always going to have power. So yeah, it's
that's good.
3 days. It's the worst it's ever been since I've lived here, and so it's not that big a concern. This last storm that came through, what was it? A few weeks ago? I can't think of the name of it. Debbie, maybe. It wasn't a hurricane. It was just a tropical something, and the power was
Yeah,
out for about three. It was about 3 or 4 hours.
that's not too
So
horrible.
exactly, it's not even enough for your food to thaw. It was, it wasn't bad at all. So I think I could get away with a solar generator. Now I have some guys that work for me. They live out in the country, and
Yeah,
the last big storm we had, it might have been Irma or Matthew or Hugo, or I don't know what storm it was, but they didn't have power for 2.5 weeks.
wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a while.
yeah, but they're
Boy,
where they live. It's very sparsely populated. It's out in the country, and of course they prioritize power restoration
yep,
based on population. So I literally live in the middle of the city. We're always at the top of the list to get the power back on, whereas he's at the bottom of the list. So,
yeah,
they need big generators down there. I could probably get away with a smaller, like a battery
mhm,
one, like a big solar one, and,
yeah,
and survive. Cat Diamond's here. Hello, Cat. Good to
mhm.
see you. Says that only works for steak. My wife buys stuff just because it's on sale. He's talking about buying stuff on sale. It says Ketapalooza 24. He'll be there.
That's right. Mhm.
Yes, yes, that's right. Now, Porp, I'm a little behind on the comments.
It's all right.
Yes,
We
I'll
got
be at
pork.
KPL some early fun, not KPL sanctioned. Yes, and if I was going to ask you about that, if it's has anything to do with the Brazilian steakhouse, you'll probably bump into us. I don't think they have one
Mhm,
Brazilian steakhouse in Louisville. It is right across
mhm.
the street from the hotel I'm staying at, so I will probably be camped out, camped out over there. They'll
I'm
know
staying
me.
at the hotel where they have the
The
conference.
house.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's a nice place. It's right down there on the water
Yeah.
and stuff. It's a nice, yeah. People say it's nice and they liked it. So Chandra won't be there. Oh, that great thing to spend money on. That's right. That's my girl, Laura. She's our girl. What is normal price around here? It's not hard to get oxtail for $10 a pound. That's you can get them for less than at a Costco. Costco's $8.99, but everywhere else is like $9.99 or $10.99 a pound. I've seen
Hmm.
higher, but not anywhere I would shop. I shop mostly at Winn-Dixie, and Winn-Dixie is a great place for meat around here. Walmart is
Yeah.
much higher. Um, Publix is much higher. Um, Costco is lower around here, normal price, but they never have sales at Costco. Nothing's ever on
Mm.
sale there. So you can't, but if you wait for the sales, you can beat Costco prices.
Yeah.
But I pay $8.99. No, I get mine from Costco unless they're on sale. I got some for $7 a pound a couple weeks
Wow.
ago. They were marked down at Winn-Dixie. So yeah, I mean, I'm not. Listen, you guys have seen how I do it. I just season them up, throw them in the pressure cooker, and that's about the size of it. I keep it very simple. There's almost no bad, and you can season them after they're done too. I mean, if you don't like it, so as text, and then there you go.
Yep.
Yes, that's exactly right. But Darth didn't tell
Yep.
me what it is. Maybe he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Uh, but
My
if it's
guess is that that's one of the new names for the food dye that they've changed, because I had somebody who sent me the list of every one of the, food dyes, so yeah.
I love that. That's
It's
a good
strange
one.
world.
The football players are part of the food agreement says red 40, red 40. That's
That's right. That's right. Omaha,
my
I love
best
that.
Peyton Manning impression.
Yeah.
Nick says even iguanas are good marinated in sour oranges. Hello there,
Oh,
Susan.
that's funny.
UK USA lady meat heel. She said hello to me and not you. Ha
You did.
ha.
She's like,
I'm
"Who's that
kidding.
crazy person?"
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's funny. Dustin, did you ever find your picanha? He lives in Indiana, I think, and
Oh,
he's there. They have a picanha desert out there. Last time he was on the
really?
show, yes, last time he was on the
Hmm.
show, we were talking about picanha, and he was like, "I can't get it anywhere here. Nobody sells it." He even asked the butcher. They're like, "No, we don't get." It. And I'm like, "Well, it has some different
Huh.
names. It's also known as culotte. It's also known as top sirloin
Yeah.
cap." He's
Right.
like, I
Right.
can't get it in. I don't. We can't get it here. So
Hmm.
I went to Costco
Wow.
that next day, and I texted him a picture. They had this huge bin of picanha. I mean, they had
Yeah.
to have 50 cuts in there, and the big sign
Sure.
is picanha $7.49 a pound. And I took a picture of it and sent it to him and said, "Don't hate me." you know.
Ah. Not
But
that he was
yeah,
rubbing it in.
yeah, so it's a Thursday night. We're going to go. Well, we'll be there probably Thursday night too, unless the
Yep.
place is booked up. That is the plan. So we'll see what time. I don't know what time you're planning on getting there, Laura, but I know Brett's going to be there, as well
Yeah.
as Kim. I'm not sure what time, but
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
We're
But
leaving. I don't remember how many hours it is. Is it 6 hours to
yeah.
get there? 5, 6, something like that. And so we'll be leaving plenty early in the daytime. I love to drive fast. Okay. So
Yeah.
it won't take us very long to get there
Yeah,
as long
depends on
as
how
I
many
don't get a
times you get pulled over.
ticket.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
know,
how
I'm like,
that'll work.
I was watching one of those murder shows, murder mystery shows on TV, like on Investigative Discovery. It's the only thing I occasionally watch, and they were showing how they keep catching these people because of these eyes in the sky and all these things on highways, and I'm like, "Damn it, I'm gonna have to drive the speed limit because they're everywhere now." I was like, "All right, note to self, be have your eyes open for those things." So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I'll definitely. I may have to get ahead of the curve there and see if we can reserve ahead of time there. I don't know how it may be crowded with all the keto and carnivore people in town. It might
Yeah,
be.
it probably
We don't
will
want to.
be.
We don't get shut out our first night of like, hey, we have no more tables here and we're out of meat.
Yep.
So we'll figure out. But yeah, we'll see how that goes, Dustin, my man. I'll call you or shoot you a text or whatever. I don't know how many folks you're going with or whatever, but either we'll crash or we'll see you there. Nene says, as such, is a natural red pigmented keto carotenoid found in types of microalgae and yeast. I think she probably cut and paste that from Google, which I could have done, but I'm way too lazy for that. Plus, I like to talk to Laura. It's just,
Yeah.
that's how, why would I, I don't need Google. I've got, I got Laura Russell on my team. So it's mainly found
That's
in
interesting.
a type of algae. So if it's natural and made of algae, that's either good or bad.
I was going to say, my husband used to say all the time, well, it says natural ingredients. And I said, yes, with the FDA, what does natural ingredients mean? And so I think we were talking about these vanilla cookies that he likes, and it said made with imitation vanilla, made from natural products. So I said, oh, yeah, that's made from beaver butt gland. And he goes, stop it. And I said, look it up. So he looked it up, and sure enough, 90% of the imitation, that's exactly. And I was like, those poor little beavers, somebody's in there accosting them.
Yeah, massaging them with stimulation.
Who wants that job?
Trying to get max hormones out of them. Darren
Yeah.
says, I need to figure
So
out how to
I'm,
eat carnivore at my first KPL. Hopefully some good steakhouses nearby. Yeah, it's in
easy.
Louisville. It's in Louisville, Kentucky. It's a major city. You got every, last time I was there, I did what I always do before I knew about the Brazilian steakhouse. Okay. Now, in fairness, the Brazilian steakhouses are kind of pricey. It's not probably not the place that you can eat like every day. It's like $60 a pop or whatever. So it's not like you want to be there 2 or 3 times a day. But the last time I was there, I actually went to Golden Corral and did what I always do. I've always did. I went at 4:00 and I sat down because they have all you can eat steak. It's sirloin. It's not like, Tavern on the Green. It's not Ruth's Chris, but it's edible. It's steak. It's all you can eat. Plus they've got other stuff too. I usually get some baked chicken or sometimes carnivores, hide your kids, hide your wives. I might get some broccoli or green beans. But that's what I always do when I'm out of town. That's my go-to thing. I go into Golden Corral and I tell them, hey, I'll take that, and that. And they look at me kind of nuts. But I'm like, yeah, and you might want to start another one of those because I'll be back up here in about 7 or 8 minutes to get some more. And they kind of and you can take it to go. A lot of people don't know. If you go to Golden Corral, you can weigh. They have to go, and you take it up there and weigh it. And I usually will get 2, and I'll cram it full of steak. And they weigh it, and you pay for it, and take it to go. And then I got a food warmer because it's not,
Nice.
microwaving steak is not really that great. I have a really cool little food warmer that fits that I can plug into my car or into a regular outlet. Gets about 160 degrees. It gets it good and warmed up. It's really cool. That's always my go-to when I'm out of town. Find a Golden Corral after 4:00, go in, sit down, eat all I can eat, and take some to go for the next day or two. And like if I'm going on a long trip, I'll like chart out the Golden Corral strategically, and hit them. So, that guy in Louisville looked at me really funny because they, it's not like they have a ton. I mean, they just have a couple of them out there. I'm like, yeah, I'll take all of that. He looked at me. I'm like, yeah. He put one on there. I'm like, no, that one too. And that one too.
And that one.
He kept putting them on there. And I'm like, okay. And then I came back one more time and I left. So they have a dinner. I mean, I don't know the itinerary. I haven't looked at it. I'm just going from years past, whatever. They have a dinner the first of the first night that's there, but it is kind of keto-ish course, there was meat, there was beef and chicken and stuff, but there were also some vegetables and cheeses and some things.
Yeah.
And again, some people ate there, some people didn't. Some people brought stuff. I actually brought some stuff as well as ate there, and then I ate out some. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's plenty of options there. And be sure to look us up there, brother. We'll be good to see you. Or shoot me an email or something, man, if you want to try to hook up or link up. Everybody, part of the Keto Cookout family, we've got to make sure we see each other and meet each other and hang out. This is probably a
That is true.
Yeah.
Carotenoid. Yep.
Jenny says, I did an Instacart order for a customer. She wanted wild caught salmon, but the label said wild caught salmon farm raised.
Totally. Yeah. That's an oxymoron.
They caught him as a baby. He was caught as a tiny little salmon, and then they put him to the farm and they raised him in the farm.
Yeah.
That's funny. I don't know. I don't know
Mm.
what that means. It has keto in the name. It must be good. I must be telling someone else.
Yeah.
It is not my birthday today, but thank you anyway. I appreciate you, Tony. And they let out the tanks. She's wishing me happy birthday early. Actually, my birthday is tomorrow. I'm not making fun of her.
Oh.
Yes,
Happy birthday tomorrow.
Yes, I'll be 71. I look pretty good for 71, don't I? It's like
Yeah.
I'm a young, spry 71.
I don't think so.
There you go. They let it out of the tank and
exactly.
cut it in the wild. Exactly. That's exactly right.
That's
Green tea is good from time to time, but it's not coffee. Coffee is a perfectly cooked steak. Listen, I do like coffee. Are you a coffee snob, Dustin? Okay, it's like I don't know who the coffee snobs are, but I am definitely not a coffee snob. I absolutely positively will drink about any kind of coffee that whatever's on sale. It's like you said, it's like the steak of the world, whatever's on sale. Now I will say this, I have to say, because I never drank coffee until I started the keto life. And the only reason I started doing this because I never had before. And I'm like, hey, if I'm changing my life up here, going this keto life, I'm gonna do some things I've never done before, right? Yeah. So I can honestly say I can taste the difference in some different coffees, but not enough to where like I don't like them, if that makes sense. So it's not like I bought this brand of coffee. I'm like, it's like, it tastes a little different, but it's still, and I put so much cream in there anyway, so I don't know that it's, that big a thing, to be perfectly honest. But so I don't know if you're a coffee snob. If you are, Dustin, tell me what brand of coffee you like. Again, Folgers, Maxwell House. He's probably laughing at me right now. He's probably spitting out his coffee.
We have Melaleuca coffee is the one that we get, and that's just because of the mold allergies that I have. Because I rarely drink coffee, but when I first was doing keto, I did the bulletproof coffee with the butter or the coconut oil. And so that was the first time I don't require it because I'm hyperactive as it is. I don't need extra caffeine because then I'm worse. And so, but every once in a while, Saturday or Sunday, I will have half a cup of like hot water and half a cup of the coffee, just plain. But I don't react to that because I am so allergic to stuff and mold, especially that I used to do like I'd get him the Folgers, and I could take a couple drinks and my nose would just fill because of the mold. So that's what made me go to the Melaleuca coffee. And some people it doesn't bother. I think he could drink it out of somebody's boot and it would be fine. Like I don't think he'd care. But it really did affect me.
I could drink it out of somebody's boot too. What's her name? It all depends.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna drink it out of a stiletto, but if I'm in Texas,
there you
go.
Yeah.
So is that a brand that you can buy in a store? Do you have to order that online? Don't laugh at me if that's an easy question to know the answer to.
Melaleuca is like a natural company that has like natural cleaner products. Not all of their products are clean as they used to be, but um it's kind I don't know if it's an MLM or something. I'm a member, but I'm not a seller of it. I have a lady that I order it and I think she gets points or something. I don't know, but um I do that, and that's where I get a lot of my essential oils because they are cleaner, and I can use them in like the tooth powder or use them for like for the skin, where a lot of the ones you buy on Amazon um, are only to be used outside. You can't use them on any of the products that somebody would ingest. So I do get that kind of stuff from them, but I don't know. It's an American company and they're patriotic and they really push to keep things in the United States what they sell. So I'm always big on those kind of companies.
Yeah, I mean, I would, like I said, I don't know anything about coffee, so I'm willing to try different ones and like what the hey, you
And you
know.
would
So
really shake your head at me because I get the coffee beans and I have a coffee grinder that I grind and do those like the day
mm,
before he's going to have coffee, every day.
yeah,
I don't know if that makes
um,
any difference, but
I'm catching up here. Not that many people are
yeah.
coming in Thursday. There's a group of 100 going Saturday.
Wow,
Woo!
that's a pretty big
Yeah,
group.
yeah, I was gonna say that'll probably pack that place out.
So the night to
Well,
go is Thursday, it sounds like.
yeah, yeah. Hey, listen,
Yeah,
we'll do something with the cool kids. We'll let those guys go Saturday night to the Brazilian steakhouse, and the cool kids will do something else.
that's
I'm gonna
right.
start calling around for Caribbean joints that I'm gonna have them make a special batch of oxtails for my sister-in-law. I'm
Say
gonna call it,
no
but listen to
gravy.
me. I want you to put those oxtails, you can season them. I want a list of the seasonings that you use.
Yeah, yeah.
And because
Where'd they come from?
they slow cook them or pressure
Hmm.
cook them. That's how they make
Right.
them. And then, but like I said, so I'm gonna, we'll see. Maybe I'll do a little research and we'll do something else Saturday if the whole world's gonna be there, or we'll find out
Yeah.
how big the place is. Who knows? Maybe we'll join them. I thought I saw
Yeah.
Renee said there's a picanha desert here too. Now, like I said, it
Yep.
does have some names. It is Culotte Steak, Coulotte. It's also known as Culotte, and it's known
Hmm.
as top sirloin cap. So picanha, I think, is a Brazilian word. That's what Brazilians call it. But it does at the one store, I think it's either Winn-Dixie or Publix, it does say top sirloin cap. But at the other stores, I think at Winn-Dixie or Publix, I can't remember one, it says top sirloin cap and has picanha in parentheses. And then like at Costco, it just says picanha.
Picanha.
So
Yeah.
you may, and it looks like tri-tip. Like if you don't
Yes.
know, if you don't know that,
Yep.
it's triangle shaped. It has a big fat cap on it, and it's usually, as a matter of fact, one time when I was in Winn Dixie, I picked up the tri-tip and I started putting it in my cart because I thought it was picanha, and I looked at it, and it was like $17 a pound. I'm like, whoa,
Ooh,
that is not
yeah.
picanha. It's
No.
$7.50 a pound is what it goes for around here. I'm sure it's
Wow.
our man
Eh,
Bruce says he is out. Night night,
He's
Bruce. Hey,
I'm
Kimberly.
halfway there. I
Yes,
got
I
my
know.
pajamas on.
Yes, we're getting near the end here. Let's see. Yes, she was good in facing. Got
Yeah.
more Spurs. Hey, just Jason Keto and more. Hey, buddy, appreciate you being here. And more Spurs, you can invite, share, whatever. Although we are winding down here. Simpson, saw you two want to stop by to say hey. Yeah, hit the
Oh,
notification
that's
bell,
nice.
folks. I don't know, I people always tell me to remind people hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe. If you
Yeah.
don't hit the bell, I guess you don't get notified when we come on.
And
So
sometimes you have to do it more than once and also subscribing to channels because YouTube's algorithm is or AI, I'm not sure what um like remember the thing I sent you, the pictures where you were flagged uh, for the
Yeah.
climate? Yeah. So and it's just little words that you might use that they will flag, and they'll actually drop off some of your subscribers and all that. So you have to kind of go every so often. Like the channels I really like to watch, I like to make sure I go out every so often and make sure that I still have the bell is still there and that my subscription, is still there.
Yeah. Looks like we got some trolls in the chat.
Yeah,
Uh,
I love
yeah, there's a
trolls.
bunch of
What do we
goofy
got?
people, some people cursing and stuff like that. I don't know. It's kind
Oh,
of goofy. Yeah, always some morons out there. I don't know. They get their fun, I guess, ruining people's chats.
that's
But
okay.
yeah, I'm blocking some of them, and yeah, I know you're a. I think you're a mod too, or whatever. You can certainly block them if you want to. But
Yeah.
we're gonna wrap up here. We have fulfilled our contractual obligations. I'm scrolling down to try to find legitimate chats and legitimate
Uh,
questions, but
yeah, here's one. That's a legitimate question, I
yeah,
believe.
yeah. What's the best cutoff meat for the George Foreman grill? We're ribeye folks here. Anything that's fatty. If you really are, Johnny, if you're really asking a legitimate keto question, I hope you are. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, we like fatty meat. Whatever's the fattiest cut you can afford, ribeyes, strips. We eat a lot of those. It is wonderful. The fat is wonderful for you. Red meat is good for you. Cholesterol is good for you. And I have an indoor grill that I use as well. And um, ribeyes, strips, and picanhas. We were just talking about picanha not too long ago.
Yeah.
And
You must be hitting big time. That's all I can tell you. If you're getting all of these people in here, you must be
uh,
big time.
no, somebody probably shared it and was like, "Yeah, this guy's got a goofy live stream, and you can go ruin his day."
Yeah.
There were a
I
bunch
don't
of
I
super.
would
There were a bunch of super chats too that um, you could probably see them. There was some of them were
yeah.
vulgar and just I don't know why people do that
Wow.
kind of stuff. Whatever. It's probably maybe it's
Hey,
bots
it's
or
their
something.
money. And if
Yeah.
they're spending even if it's $2, okay. Spend your money. We
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah.
Not
Oh,
a problem.
well,
Yeah, you got
appreciate that.
nailed. Look at all those. Wow.
Thank you. I don't know. It's crazy. I saw the count jump up. There were like 30 or 40 people in the stream, and then the number jumped up
Yeah.
to like 100 people. And I'm like,
Wow.
what? I didn't know what that was about. Now I know. So there's a
Ooh,
bunch
a
of people in
$5
here
one.
just,
All right. Wow.
I don't know, man. Whatever. They're probably stolen credit cards. So
Probably. Well, these are the kind of people that call the grandma and try to get them out of get money out of them because their grandson in jail. I love those ones.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, folks, as always, we appreciate you being here. We love that you come and hang out with us. I look forward to this every Tuesday, just hanging out with my folks, seeing smiling
Yes.
faces, and just socializing with the people I care about. It makes my week. I look forward to it. I need it. It's therapeutic for me and it helps me get through the
Yeah.
week. I hope it does the same for you guys. As always, you can tell your friends, like, subscribe, hit the share button and the notification bell.
Notification
The
bell.
notification. I'm terrible at this. All right. So, and thank you everybody for the birthday wishes. Those who know me that really sent them. But
He's
and I'm
35.
so yes, I'm 113, and it's all due to keto. And
Looking
I'm
great.
sorry if yes, just Jason says yes, and you're exactly right. I never have before, but it looks like I might now. I'm hoping this is not an ongoing thing, but I appreciate you, Jason, coming in. We're here every Tuesday at 9 o'clock. It's a show about nothing. We just like to have fun. There's enough channels to talk about what we eat and all the medical stuff and all that stuff. We just want to hang out, socialize, talk about whatever comes to mind. and just, like I said, just fellowship with everybody. That's what we do here. And if we get to talking about keto stuff, that works too, especially when you have somebody like Laura who is so awesome, knows so much. She's just a wealth of information, and she's so giving with her time and all that kind of stuff. You are the best. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you.
And that's right. When you're in Louisville, I'll make sure that I get you at least a large cup of water, and I haven't put
All
extra
right.
ice in there for you, and it'll be on me.
Well, I'm bringing bail money just in case because I can't say how I'll act. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, somebody puts a little seed, sprinkles a little drop of seed oil on your steak.
Yeah. And an EpiPen. I guess I'll bring bail money and an EpiPen.
Yeah, leave your switchblade at home. So
Yeah.
anyway. Oh, Carnivore Mommy, good to see you, sweetheart.
There
Yes,
she
we are signing
is.
off. We will be back next week. Our man Rick will be here. Charger Mopar will be in the building. So be here next Tuesday night for tomfoolery and hijinks from the Duck Destroyer.
That's right.
Charger Mopar. But as always, guys, we wish you all the best. We will see you on the next one.
See you guys.